The golf legend was staying at the plush Terreana resort where crew for the show Grownish were based while filming and was said to be running late for a meeting with two NFLs. The 45-year-old was reportedly in a rush when he left the resort, with those on the TV set apparently saying he seemed agitated and impatient as he drove off. A member of the production crew for Grownish told The Sun, who have also heard Tiger was pissed off that we were here at the resort. Apparently he didn't know there was going to be a major show being made here this week, so that annoyed him and contributed to him being angry. Oliver Konteh, who works on the crew, told TMZ, "A little bit after 6:40 a.m. our director has come in and he was like, you know what? I almost got in an accident with effing Tiger Woods. He almost hit me." It has been reported the sports legend was running around 30 minutes late to meet Brees and Justin Herbert for a lesson in photoshoot. One source said when Woods entered his car to get away, he had to wait as another car blocked his wallet-loaded luggage. Once the car moved, Woods took off fast, say the reports. Speaking exclusively to The Sun, one crew member said staffers were left shaken after Woods nearly hit the car being driven by the show's director as he dashed away. He really did nearly hit the director's car, too, when he left this morning, which shook us up because of Tiger crashing his car before, the source added. They added it's just a coincidence that Woods was staying at the Terranea in Rancho Palos Verdes along with the Freeform show's crew, as he isn't part of the production. They added, when we arrived here yesterday some of the guys were talking about Tiger staying here, too, and they were quite excited about. Upon hearing that minutes after their encounter with Woods, the star athlete had been involved in a severe crash, the staffer said the whole set were upset by what's happened, they said. Tiger's surgery sounds major from what weather. The 15-time major winner cheated death as the life-saving airbags deployed in his courtesy car after it careered off the road at high speed and flipped several times just after 7 a.m. LA. Woods reportedly hit a raised central reservation at speed, smashed through a street sign, hit a tree and then flipped his Genesis GV80 SUV several times at Rancho Palos Verdes. The vehicle was found 40 feet from the road. Aerial footage showed the car on its side, with its front end heavily damaged and its airbags deployed. Woods was found trapped inside the car by Deputy Carlos Gonzalez, who was alerted by a neighbor who heard the crash. He said the star was calm when he arrived at the crash scene and seemed unaware of how gravely he was injured. Deputy Gonzalez said, "He was able to speak to me. He seemed calm and lucid. I kept Mr. Woods calm until LA County Fire Department arrived on the scene. He didn't mention anything. I don't think he was aware of how gravely he was injured. It could be a mixture of adrenaline. It could have been shock. He told me his name was Tiger, and at that point I immediately..." Los Angeles County Sheriff Alex Villanueva said the front end and bumper of Woods' vehicle were the interior was more or less intact, which gave him the cushion to survive, otherwise it would have been a fatal crash. Woods was conscious but he was not able to get up. No, that was not an option. Neighbors living near to the crash on Hawthorne Boulevard reported hearing a loud bang at about 7 a.m. local time. Brian Bond, 52, was at his partner's house nearby when he heard a loud noise, almost like an He told PA, "I came outside, thought it was my neighbor, we didn't know what it was, then we saw on the news Woods, had crashed." Melly Lim, 62, lives just a few yards from where Woods' SUV crashed. She was watching the news when she was interrupted by a loud bang. She said, "I did not go outside because I thought it might be something dangerous." Woods was transported in stable condition with serious injuries to Harbor UCLA Medical Center because he was extracted from the vehicle and it was the closest trauma center to the crash site. Doctors said Woods suffered comminuted fractures in the upper and lower parts of the tibia and fibula, meaning the breaks had led to bone splinter. They fitted metal rods, screws and pins to his shattered right shin bone and calf bone following the Anish Mahajan, the center's chief medical officer, said, "Mr. Woods suffered significant orthopedic injuries to his right leg extremity that were treated during emergency surgery by orthopedic trauma specialists at Harbor UCLA Medical Center, a level 1 trauma." The sports legend also suffered fractures to his upper and lower tibia and fibula, which were stabilized with a rod. Other injuries included trauma to the muscle and soft tissue of the leg. Los Angeles County Fire Department Chief Darrell Osby said a pry bar and axe were used to extract Woods from the vehicle. Osby said Woods was able to communicate and he was conscious. "I'll leave it at." According to Golf Digest, Woods was then supposed to arrive at the Riviera Golf Course at 7:30 a.m. for a photo. He was also set to give Brees lessons. The resort is about an hour away from the golf course. Earlier this week, Woods posed for pictures with stars such as David Spade. Spade uploaded the photograph onto Twitter, with the caption, "Golf lesson with this guy today." And you know what? He's not bad. He picks things up very quickly. Good listener. He also made his first public appearance on Sunday after undergoing back surgery in jail. The star underwent a procedure called a microdiscectomy, which was his fifth back surgery, to remove a pressurized disc fragment that was pinching a nerve. Woods provided an update about his condition with CBS Sports during the final round of the Genesis and "I'm feeling fine, little bit stiff," Woods said. "Have one more MRI scheduled to see if the annulus has scarred over finally, and then I can start doing more still in the gym, still doing the mundane stuff that you have to do for rehab, the little things before you can start gravitating towards something a little more." When being asked what he has done golf-wise since undergoing the major surgery, Woods joked, "I don't have to bend over as far. I've gone to the same length as my sand." He appeared exhausted in the interview, as golfers and fans pointed out on Twitter.